What is up? Peace and blessings. Welcome back to the Burnell Washburn podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Gorgeous weather. About to go hit a wonderful hike in the mountains. Just got done making a super banger beat. And I'm enjoying my life thoroughly, and it's only about 10 a.m. So I feel great today, and I wanted to come on here and share some really quick vibes to let you know that you are enough. You are more than enough. You deserve all the blessings. You deserve all the success. You deserve everything your heart desires. And nothing could ever change that. I mean that with my whole heart. Nothing could ever change the fact that you are worthy just because you are. You deserve all the blessings and all the success just because. Period. End of discussion. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Peace. No, I'm just kidding. That would be like the shortest podcast ever, but that's pretty much what I wanted to say. That's what was on my heart today. So I just wanted to come on here and just share some good energy with y'all, conversate a little bit, and say thank you to everyone who's been supporting the music, the podcast, the YouTube channel. Shout out to the Gratitude Gang and everyone supporting on Patreon. Shout out to everyone going through the Visionary Workbook. It seems to really be helping some people, so I'm super grateful that I made that. Yesterday I just recorded my first guided meditation ever. So I'm going to start putting some guided meditations on my YouTube channel, and I might throw a few on this podcast. And the thing is I was like, I've been wanting to do guided meditations for a while, because you guys hear me talk about guided meditations all the time. I listen to them like every day on YouTube. And there's some extraordinary meditations out there. And then there's some that were like, all right. And I felt like maybe I had some type of value to add in that space. So for quite some time, I've been wanting to do my own guided meditations, and I've kind of done some mini ones, but not really, nothing official. Never really posted anything. And in my mind, I thought I was like waiting for the right time to get like aligned, or to feel like a super high vibe, or to, have the right download of what to say. And like, yes, you do need to get aligned and in tune to do like high vibrational work, but you don't need to wait until you're on like some magical frequency to take action. So yesterday I just got done meditating, and I just like jumped up, or maybe it was the day before yesterday, and I was like, I'm recording a guided meditation right now. Went in, tried to record it with my podcast mic, which is what I'm recording with right now, and it wasn't working for some reason, so I just, rather than overthinking it or like letting that little obstacle get in my way, I just used a different mic and made it work, and just freestyled it out the top of the dome, found some dope meditation type music that was royalty free that I could use without getting in trouble. I'm working on creating my own music for that, but I just talked for like 15 minutes on this little, meditation music, and it turned out pretty well. And I'll share that with you guys soon. I'm going to do a lot more of them, but the thing is, you just got to jump in and take action. I thought I was waiting for this right time to feel aligned, but really, once I uncovered it, I was just scared. I was scared of feeling certain emotions, and that's what it comes down to when we're not taking action on anything. It always comes down to fear. It always comes down to fear, and it always comes down to fear of a certain emotion. We're not actually scared of a certain thing happening. We're scared of a certain feeling. So I uncovered it, and I was like, oh, I'm scared of rejection. That's an emotion I don't really care for, but I'm reframing that, and I'm starting to like really handle it well. And discouragement, that's one of my least desirable emotions. Like it sucks feeling discouraged, feeling like you poured your whole heart into something, you did your absolute best, and it still came out terrible. It's pretty discouraging. But you have to just be willing to love the process. If you're doing something for an end result, then you shouldn't even be doing it in the first place. If you fall in love with the process, then you're going to do it long enough to actually get good at it. So I don't know why I was even expecting my first guided meditation to even be good. Like, I shouldn't have even expected it to be remotely good, which is, It's like the white belt mentality that if you approach anything like you're a student rather than you're like some expert, you can humble yourself and just be like, hey, I'm not expecting myself to be good at it, and my self-esteem isn't built around me being good at this or not. My self-esteem is more so built around me being willing to try. I'm willing to take action on things that scare me. I'm willing to embarrass myself. I'm willing to suck at something in order to get good at it. Anything worth doing well is worth doing poorly at first. Let me say that again. Anything worth doing well is worth doing poorly at first. So you gotta fall in love with the process. And I realize like I'm gonna have fun making guided meditations even if they suck. Even if nobody listens to them, even if they don't really help anyone, I will get better. And over time, if I'm meant to do it, if it's part of my soul's mission, then I will get good at it. I will make beautiful meditations and a lot of people will benefit from them. If I'm not meant to do it, I'll still learn some valuable skills and self-discovery throughout the process of attempting to create them. And I can't know, like, who knows, maybe I'm like going to bring the most magical guided meditations to the world that the world's ever seen, but I can't know if I don't try. So I talk about that in the first episode. I talk about that in a lot of episodes about just taking messy, inspired action. When you don't really know what you're doing, you don't really know how to do it, you don't know if it's going to work, and you just start doing it. And I'm not saying just throw shit at the wall and hope something sticks and have zero strategy. Like, strategy is valuable. Taking strategic action is amazing. But don't let absence of strategy hold you back from getting started, because you'll develop your strategy as you go. You can get better at things as you go. You know, like when I was a skateboarder, I didn't like look at other skateboarders that could do, you know, kick flips and ollies and stuff like that and say, you know what, there's no chance, no reason for me to even try skateboarding because I can't do that stuff. Like, that just sounds silly when you put it in that context. It's like, I've never skateboarded, I shouldn't expect myself to know how to do those things, so I just got to jump in and learn. And it's like someone could tell me all the ins and outs of how to do a kickflip, but if I never put my feet on a skateboard, then like, how on earth am I going to learn that shit? I'm not. I could watch a million YouTube videos, I could listen to all the skateboard podcasts, I could, you know, read all the articles, and nothing's going to teach me as fast as just jumping on that board and trying it and falling and getting hurt and trying again and getting hurt and trying again and again and again until I finally have an understanding. And then when I actually get my feet on the board, then those YouTube videos that I watch actually are going to help me way more than if I've never tried it. So like, I've never looked up any information on how to make a guided meditation, but like, if I go research that now, I'll be able to apply the wisdom that I research or that I learn from my research so much more effectively, because I'll be like, I've already tested the waters, I've already tried it myself, I already kind of have a feel about how it worked for me and didn't work for me and what I need to improve on, and you know. So take that messy action. I want you to think about this right now and throughout the rest of the day and next few days. What things in your life have you been wanting to do? Because we all have them. We all have these things, these goals and these dreams and aspirations and just little things that we kind of know we should be doing or think that we'd like to be doing, but we're not taking action. And if you really look of why you're not taking action on a self-discovery level, you're going to realize it's fear. It's fear of certain emotions. So face those emotions. For me, if I'm scared of being discouraged, I just got to go face discouragement like every day. Anything I can do that might discourage me, I'm just going to face it head on, because I just want to get so comfortable with being discouraged. Like, to the point where discouragement doesn't even affect me. Like, I can just, you know, put my all into stuff that doesn't work out and just bounce right back and keep going, like, rather than being crippled by it and not taking action on other stuff for years, because you never know. Like, all it takes is one brilliant idea, one aligned action, one huge inspiration to change your life forever. And if you don't take action and try some stuff, then you're never going to get there, you know? And like, so many of us are scared to embarrass ourselves. I'm personally not. Like, I embarrass myself every day, and that's just because it's a muscle that I've built up. But I have a close friend who's really scared to embarrass herself. She's so scared of doing something wrong. She's so scared of looking stupid. She's so scared of like being bad at something in front of someone else and being judged for it or criticized for it or criticizing herself for it that it just cripples her, that she just stays in her comfort zone and only does things that she feels like she's good at. And anything that she thinks that she might not be good at, she just does not even come close to it. And then like that's a sad way to live. I'm helping her work through that because there's so much more potential in her that she's not reaching because of this fear. So you got to get comfortable embarrassing yourself. You got to get comfortable being bad at stuff. Like your self-esteem shouldn't be built around being smart or being good at stuff. It should be built more so about just you're willing to try. You know? You're willing to take that messy, inspired action and see what happens. You're willing to get on stage and perform in front of people knowing that you might just super embarrass yourself. But how are you ever going to get good at performing? Like, I'm a beast at performing now, and that's why I have so many fans and get so many amazing shows and get paid to do what I love and get paid to travel around the world performing because I faced that fear. And now my life is beautiful on the other side of that fear. Like, I'm not scared to get on stage. Anytime the fear does come up, because it does come up, or the anxiety or the caring about what other people think, like, it does come up. But when it comes up now, it doesn't cripple me. I just go, oh, this is part of the process. Let's work with these emotions, you know? Like, we've all seen the person that gets on stage for their first time and they're like shaking, their voice is all shaky, and they're like, I'm really nervous right now, and everyone cheers for them, and they're just like, we love you, you got this, you know? Like, just owning the fact, hey, I'm nervous right now, like, helps you overcome the nerves. And if you're never willing to face the feeling of being nervous, you're just going to play small for your whole life. If you're never willing to face the feeling of like really putting yourself out there and like getting judged for it or criticized for it or made fun of for it, you're just going to stay in your comfort zone and play small the rest of your life, and it's going to suck. So for me, I just gotten used to putting myself out there. I know people are going to laugh at me. I know people, like I made a post yesterday on Facebook that was about how when I first started rapping and I came in the game, everyone said I was too soft to be a rapper. Like, I'm too hippy dippy, spiritual, peace and love, positive vibes, raps about like the aggression and the, you know, it's really not at all. Like, it's really about peace, love, and having fun. But, you know, people's connotations with hip hop, especially when I came in the scene, is like you either had to be super braggadocious about how dope you are, or talk about your jewelry and your cars and your money and your hoes and all that shit. And that wasn't me. That wasn't my bag. So I didn't try to rep that. I just stuck to my guns of being this like, I'm this like peaceful nature lover that loves deer and likes meditating and shit, and likes butterflies and hummingbirds and flowers and shit. And I give a fuck if all that sounds feminine. Like, when it comes time to handle some masculine business, like, I'll man up, you know, faster than any fucking man in the room. You know, I could take care of a family in the wilderness with my bare fucking hands, and I'm not like, I have no insecurities about my masculinity. So I don't have any problem being like showcasing the feminine side. And, you know, for a lot of years I was too imbalanced on the masculine side of just drive and force and make shit happen and fucking assert myself and blah, you know what I mean? And then like started meditating, getting more spiritual, and I got more in touch with the feminine side, and now I'm balancing them both out. But like, I got more in touch with the divine feminine energy of just like allowing and receiving and flowing and trusting the universe and all this stuff. And of course, some super like toxic masculine hip hop people are gonna judge me for that, you know, thinking that like, oh, look at this soft ass motherfucker, like he, you know. And for a lot of years, I questioned if I really had a place in the hip hop culture because I didn't really feel like I was like all these things that I thought people wanted me to be, and I would never be that. So I could either fake the funk and try to be something that I'm not, or I could stick to my guns, be myself, and just get hated for it and made fun of for it and maybe break through. And that's what I did. I fucking broke through, and now people, the same people that used to make fun of me for it, are hollering at me trying to get coaching. They're hollering at me, asking for advice on how to build their fan base and shit. And I'm like, bro, you'd have a fan base right now if you would have been authentic this whole time. If you would have maybe been a little vulnerable from time to time, you know, but you were trying to act hard. You were trying to act all like, you know, what you think. I was like at this festival the other day performing with my DJ, and like we were watching these cats perform, and they were some young cats, and like no disrespect to them, but like they had the same exact beats and the same exact flow and cadence that I hear everyone trying to do. And just their whole stage presence was like a complete emulation of what I've seen other people trying to do. And I'm not even trying to hate on them. I just observed it, and like I was like, oh man, these cats seem like they have some talent, but it seems like they're just trying to they're just copycats. They're trying to do what they think people want from them. And like my DJ noticed, yeah, they're trying to do what they think the crowd wants, and the crowd, that's not really what the crowd wants. You know, the crowd wants authenticity. And my DJ even pointed out, he's like, you know what? He's like, they're trying to do it for the crowd, not for themselves. And if they were doing it for themselves, I'd really be feeling them right now. And we weren't like, maybe we were judging them, maybe we were criticizing them, but like it's coming from a loving place, and like we still, you know, showed them hella love and support, and not, you know, not like talking shit on them behind their back or whatever. Like I even told one of the kids that I was like, hey man, sounds like you got like a dope flow and your voice is really tight, but like to be honest, it just sounds like you're trying to copy other people. And I feel like if you just, you know, go within and discover yourself and who you really are, what you're really about, and what your vibe really is, I guarantee like you'll just blow up if you bring that to the surface, because you seem like you have a lot of skill. Like, you know, for how young you are, like you seem like you could be super dope if you just. And I wish someone would have told me that early on. I was so original when I came into the scene, and that's why I basically exploded onto the music scene out of nowhere and like built up a fan base really quickly. Within a year of starting out at the open mics, like you know, like I was talking about facing my fears and facing those emotions, I started at the open mics, embarrassing myself and just shaking in my boots, like trying to go share my art with complete strangers. And that's how I got comfortable. I just kept doing it and kept doing it. Now I could go on the stage in front of the president, not the president, fuck the president. I could go on stage in front of like the president of my favorite record label or my favorite artist, or you know, 10,000 people, no problem, and just own my shit. I might have the fear of what they're gonna think of me, or what if I suck, or what if they don't like me, or blah blah blah, and I'll just mob on stage anyway and just rock the shit out of it regardless. So I've developed that fear, but I started out on the open mic just building up that muscle, you know, and I wasn't just born with this confidence. Some people see confident people and think, oh, they were just born with that. I wasn't. Like, I wish I was confident like them, but it's like, you don't just look at someone with like, you know, huge muscles and amazing physique and just say like, oh, I wish I, you know, like the chances are they're probably working out. You know, there is like genetics and all that, but chances are they probably work out and eat healthy and they eat different than you and move their body different than you, and that's why their physique is different than yours. They've built up the muscles, just like the confident people have built up the muscles of being confident. But fuck, I forgot what I was saying right before that. I like went on this side tangent and I was saying something dope before that. Oh, I want to re-listen to this and be like, duh. But anyway, I like to go on tangents and rant. It's like a random. I can't even speak right now. Tangent and rant and blah blah blah. Unique New York. Unique New York. Bubblegum, double gum, triple double bubblegum. Let's go. But anyway, I wanted to just remind you that you're not going to have the confidence or anything that you want unless you just are willing to get out of your comfort zone. You're willing to embarrass yourself. You're willing to be made fun of. You're willing to be laughed at. You're willing to be bad at something. Because, like, no one really cares. Like, they're all just trying to do their own shit. No one really cares that much about you, about me, about, like, they're worried about themselves for the most part. And people will get inspired by the people who just, like, unapologetically are themselves. They're authentic. They're vulnerable. They don't give a fuck. They, you know, like, the analogy is like the fat dude that takes his shirt off at the party and doesn't give a fuck, you know? I love that dude. That dude's awesome. He gives me more permission to be myself because he's owning his truth and just being in his power and not sitting here being all insecure and worried about what everyone thinks of him. He's just like, fuck it, I'm taking my shirt off, you know? And I like that. I like people that are unapologetic. I like people that are authentic and vulnerable. And just one of my favorite mentors right now, Amanda Francis. She's like this spiritual boss lady, money manifestation queen, and she just creates these online courses, and she like unapologetically charges ridiculous amounts. She charges like $100,000 for coaching for a year. She charges all the, hundreds of dollars for these online courses, which is just like 5 or 6 videos and a couple assignments, and it's it's changing people's lives. She has millions of followers and people that adore her and love her, and she makes like $1 million or something a month, or maybe more than that. And she's helping a lot of people. But the reason I like her, and the reason I think her audience likes her so much, is because she's so unapologetically herself. She doesn't explain herself. She doesn't justify anything. She's dripping in Gucci and Chanel head to toe, and she doesn't give a fuck what you think about it. Yes, there's people online going, "Oh, if you really were just trying to help people, you'd just give away this content for free, and but you're obviously materialistic. You want all these Gucci bags," and she's like, "So what? Fucking like Gucci bags. Fuck off," And I love that. I don't like material stuff like that necessarily. I'm not into luxury goods like that much. Like maybe a little bit. Like I like, as I get older, I'm starting to like nicer stuff because I realize it lasts longer and higher vibration sometimes. But everyone has different values, and I love that she's not trying to explain. Like right now, I just tried to justify myself, so I'm still working on being more unapologetic about my desires and not caring what anyone thinks of me. Because the more you put yourself out there, the more you will get criticized and judged, and like you got to realize like most of that criticism and judgment is people projecting how they feel about themselves on you. They're denying anyone that's judging Amanda Francis for wanting her Gucci bags and her Chanel whatever, and for like how much money she spends on like luxury travel and stuff. Like anyone that's judging her, it's like deep down they're judging themselves because they don't think they deserve that. So that's part of the basis of this whole episode is you deserve what you want just because you want it. Straight up. I've been living in this paradigm for a long time, and it's becoming shattered right now, but like my paradigm is in order to deserve a good life, I have to be like providing so much value to the world. Like, and yes, like a lot of times like financial reward and influence and stuff is a direct byproduct of the amount of value you're providing to the world. You provide a lot of value, people are just, it's like natural, they're just going to be paying you money and wanting to work with you and all sorts of shit. But my worth as a being has nothing to do with how much value I provide. Like, does a butterfly or a hummingbird need to provide certain value to the world in order to deserve like all the nectar that it drinks? It's like, no, actually, the value it provides to the world is just by drinking the nectar. So just by drinking the nectar that it wants to drink to sustain itself and to live its own life, just by doing its own thing, what it loves to do, that's how it benefits the world. Think about that for a second. And everything in nature is designed to do that. Do you think a tree is sitting there feeling bad about how much sunshine it's absorbing? Like, I better not absorb too much because, like, I don't know what I really did to deserve this much sunshine. And, like, man, I haven't produced, like, as many pine cones as that other tree, so maybe I shouldn't take as much water as these other trees because they, that other one over there is bigger than me, and it produces more pine cones than me, so you know what, I don't really think I deserve enough water. And it's so silly when you put it in a metaphor like that, but that's what we do as human beings all day long, every day. We think because we're not doing, providing a certain thing to society, or because we don't have X amount of followers, or X amount of money in the bank, or X amount of whatever, then we don't deserve a certain thing. And like literally everyone I know in my real life, besides a couple people, is settling for way, 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 way less than they deserve. Like I've talked about that before. When I see some people going online posting like, looking for a job, anything that's $12 an hour or more, and it's like, oh wait, so you don't give a fuck where you spend 1/3 of your life as long as it gives you $12 an hour? Homie, let me give you a hug right now because that is sad as shit. Let me give you a big hug. You're worth so much more than that. I'm not just talking money, but I'm talking where you spend your time. You deserve to spend your time doing things that light you up, doing things that you love the most. And just like the hummingbird or the butterfly or the bee, you will provide the most value to the world by doing what you love. By filling yourself up and taking care of yourself, that's how you provide the most value. Just like I'm watching these hummingbirds outside, they come visit me every morning and every night. And just by filling themselves up and drinking nectar and then going to the next flower to drink the nectar, they're helping all the plants grow. They're helping the entire planet. They're helping you and I sustain life. They're providing tons of value, and they're not trying to. They don't, they're just doing what they're designed to do, being themselves, enjoying their life. And just by naturally doing the byproduct of that is helping the world. So the byproduct of you doing what you love is that you then inspire and uplift and help other people. And when you're living in your core genius, you're just so much more valuable to the rest of humanity and the rest of the whole universe. So you don't need to be successful to be worthy. You don't need to do anything specific to go deserve all the blessings in the world. You deserve all the blessings, all the peace, all the love, all the abundance, all the prosperity, all the love, all the good relationships, just because you are. Just because. Period. So that's my message for you today. I love you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. You are worthy. You are blessed. You are guided. You are protected. You are loved. You are appreciated. You are adored. Thank you for being you. Go out there and own your truth. Spread that love. Step into the light. Own your power. Do what lights you up. Keep fulfilling your heart's desires. Keep filling yourself up until you overflow. Keep filling yourself up with self-love so it just oozes out onto everyone. And by filling yourself up, you're just naturally you're going to help everyone else so much more. So I love you. Peace and blessings. Please share this episode if you got any value in it. Check out patreon.com/Burnell Washburn. All the links are in the show notes. But I have some cool incentives, including the Visionary Workbook. I was doing the workbook for anyone that was contributing $20 a month, but I decided anyone that contributes any amount per month. So even if you just do $5 a month, you're going to be able to get the workbook, and it's going to give you massive clarity on where you're trying to go in your life and will really, really help you raise your vibration to start embodying the person that you want to become. So you can live from that reality, not wishing towards that reality. You can start living from it. So I believe this workbook is really helpful, and it's going to change your life if you want to get more clear on your vision. Regardless, I'm ultra clear on my vision, and I just went through it and it helped me immensely. So there's no such thing as having too much clarity. But check that out, patreon.com/Burnell Washburn. If you haven't got yours yet and you already been supporting on Patreon, just shoot me a message. I'll make sure you get it. And I've got a ton of new beats dropping. I've been coming out with some slappers lately, so check out the beats if you're an MC or a singer. YouTube videos are posted up whenever I feel like it, usually a couple per week. I've got some dope shows coming up, so hit me up on IG at Burnell Washburn. And go have yourself a fucking amazing rest of your day. Repeat after me. I love myself. I respect myself. I am the shit. I am fucking amazing. Let's go. Peace and love. I'll see you soon.